Welcome. Today we're going over a problem on page 199. It's problem 25, and what we're going to do is solve an equation that's in quadratic form. So what this really means is that you can reduce the equation to a quadratic through substitution. So if I go and say that I want to get this into a quadratic equation, I just can say that x squared is equal to u, meaning that this will then simplify to u squared plus 5u minus 6 equals 0. This allows us to simplify the equation to something we can actually solve. So solving this quadratic isn't too hard. We end up with u minus 1 times u plus 6. This is because if you divide negative 6 by negative 1, the factors also add to 5. So solve that, we get u is equal to 1 comma negative 6. Okay, well, that's not our final answer. This is kind of an intermediate step because we still have to plug in x squared for u. So we go x squared is equal to 1 comma, let's break this out actually. X squared equals negative 6. Solving these, we get x squared equals a plus or minus 1 because we did the square root. And then same here, this is x is equal to square root of negative 1 times the square root of 6, which simplifies to the square root of 6 times I. And excuse me, because that should be a plus or minus also, because we took the square root. So these are our final answers. Okay, I'm going to go over one more. The next one, we're going to solve problem 18 on page 198, and we're going to solve this one by completing the square. All right, so the problem is 2x squared minus 6, plus 6 is equal to negative 7x. So this isn't in a form that we can use right now, so we're going to have to simplify this. The phrase is to rearrange the terms on either side. So now, as you can see, we can't really factor this, so we're going to first we're going to have to simplify it, and then we're going to have to complete the square. So simplify this first. So now I've got x squared plus 7 over 2x equals negative 3. Okay, to complete the square, we take this term, which is our b, and we say b divided by squared, and we add that to both sides. So this ends up becoming 49 over 16. So now we add this to both sides and then get like denominators. All right, I already did the math for this. This simplifies out to 1 over 16. And then this guy, we know now because that's what we completed the square, so this simplifies to 7 over 4, which is the thing that's being squared in here, b over 2. b over 2 is equal to 7 over 4, or it's the same thing as dividing this term by 2. And then now, if we take this guy and simplify it, it should give us our answer. So, taking the square root of both sides, you've got x plus 7 over 4, 4 equals, where am I? There we go. Equals 1 over 4, plus or minus. So then we add this to both sides. Excuse me, it should be a minus sign. I keep putting a 2 for some reason. There we go, 7 over 4. These simplify out And now we're left with this. So we've got plus or minus 1 over 4 minus 7 over 4. So what we do is we do the plus and then we do the minus, and those will be our two solutions. So this plus 1 over 4 is equal to negative 6 over 2, which is equal to negative 3 over 2. And then our other solution is we subtract 4 from this one, add a negative 4 to this one. We will get we'll get 8 over 4, which is negative 2. So our two solutions are x equals negative 2, comma 3 over 2. And that's also negative.